The first step to creating friends is to identify who you are. How can you get to know someone else if you don't know who you are? You want to find that part of your personality that does not change. It's the part of your personality that won't change if someone gives you $1 million or $1 billion or $1 trillion. It's that part of your personality that won't change regardless of what room you're in and how many people are in that room. It's the part of your personality that won't change if you're tired, if you're exhausted, or if you're hungry, or if you're full. It's the part of your personality that won't change regardless of your situation. Find that part of your personality. Find that part of your identity that does not change. I know there are some people out there who say, you know what, that's very difficult. I don't know. What part of my personality will not change? Dig deep and find it. If you need help finding it, I can do another video and we can talk about ways that you can find that part of your personality that does not change. But find it. I'm not sure if you should trust anyone that asks you for something and is not willing to offer something in return. So as I ask you to find that part of your personality that does not change, I'm going to share with you what part of my personality does not change. I know it sounds corny to a lot of people, but the part of my personality that does not change is love. That's right, love. If I break every single thing down, if I break down my ethnicity and my religion, and if I break down all the things that I've accomplished in my life, the one quality that I have that does not change, regardless of whether I'm tired, regardless of whether I'm frustrated, or regardless of if I am getting paid or not getting paid, the one thing that does not change in my life is love. I love love. I know it sounds corny to a lot of people. And to some people who are stuck in survival mode, the fact that I identify so closely with love is a weakness. They will look at me and say, you know what, you're soft. You're soft for embracing love because the world is a hard place. But I'll tell you this, one thing that I've learned was serving in the military and working as a consultant in different very competitive circles is when you have something good, you have to protect it. So yes, I embrace love. That's the part of my personality that does not change, but I also have learned how to protect it. So if you're like me and you identify that's your part of your personality that does not change, love, you love yourself, you love other people, you love the things that are around you, you're just filled with so much gratitude and love for everything in life. If that's you, you're like me, you have to also learn how to protect it. You have to learn how to protect it from people who want to take advantage of you. I'll do other sessions where we speak about how to preserve your personality, how to protect your friendships. But in this instance, I'm just demonstrating that you can dig deep into your soul, dig deep into your personality, dig deep into your past, do some real analysis of the things that you've gone through and what parts of your personality don't change. And once you find that, hold on to it. And if it's something like love or something that is very positive, understand that you're going to have to learn how to protect it in order to keep it pure, in order to keep it strong. So that's the first step. You want to make friends. You don't want to be lonely. You want to be successful at business. You don't want to have to pay for everything on your own. You don't want to go through life on your own. You want to go through life in a network or in a community. They'll say it takes a community to raise a child. Well, it also takes a community to run a successful business. It takes a community to give you that emotional support when you have hard days. All of the things that you want to accomplish in your life all start off with making friends. And if you learn how to embrace your true identity, if you know who you are, that is the first step to making friends and to keep them. Because now when the friends get to know you or you meet someone new and you introduce yourself, they get a better understanding of who you truly are as a person much faster. And if they don't like you or they react negatively to you, they're not reacting negatively to an agent of you or some sort of projection that you're putting off. Now you have confidence that when they react negatively to you, negatively to you, you know that you're just not a good fit for them because you're bringing truth, you're bringing transparency, you're bringing who you truly are to the table, and you're introducing yourself. You're putting your best foot forward, but you're giving them an accurate representation of who you truly are as a person. And when you introduce yourself, whether it's on an elevator or in a stairwell or walking down the street or in some sort of a store, or you introduce yourself to someone at work or at school, now you're not introducing them to your agent or a representative of you or some sort of person that is an act that you're playing, but now you have the confidence to introduce yourself as who you truly are. They get a better representation of who you are much faster. And like I said, if they embrace you, great, you've made a lifelong friend. But if they don't, that's also wonderful because now you know where they stand. And you know that you can focus your efforts on creating and nurturing relationships with other people. In my instance, because I know that part of my personality is love, I can't just go around telling everybody that I love them. Oh, I love you. I love you. Such a great job, right? But what I can do, and I'll just share this in practice, what I can do, whether it was in the military or as a consultant, is when I introduce myself, I try to introduce myself in such a way where they know I don't pose a threat to them. And they know that I am supportive of who they are and I embrace who they are as a person. I've done that in the military. Military is a little bit more structured, right? It's yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. But even then you can say yes, sir, no, ma'am, yes, yes, ma'am. You can say all the customs and courtesies without being mean or harsh. And I've tried, I haven't been perfect, but I've tried very hard and I've been successful introducing myself and sharing that part of my personality, that love that I have for people, even in the military, which is very structured, very conservative. As a consultant, same thing. When I am going to a client site and I'm getting ready to solve a very difficult problem with some very intelligent people, when I get into the conference room or when I'm facilitating a meeting, I make sure that the way I facilitate the meeting, I facilitate it with love. I try not to bark down people's throats, try not to make them feel unintelligent. I try not to make them feel like they're asking a question that they shouldn't be asking, because I think every single question is just another form of communication. And it's just everyone trying to reach out and share information. And so even if they ask a question that may seem odd or offensive, I try to respond with love because that's who I am. There are some people who say, you're just really nice. You're such a people pleaser. Well, that may be, but that's who I truly am as a person. It's not some sort of trauma response. It's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy bringing light and love to people that I meet. Obviously online, social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, all over the internet, right? There are certain people that don't feel that way. There are certain people that will respond negatively to my opinions or negatively to my beliefs, or they're just very negative people. And I understand that, but I don't hate them for it because everyone is struggling with something. And one day, who knows, but one day they may see the light and they may decide, you know what, I'm going to choose a different course of action. I'm going to choose to be more loving. I want to choose to be more like Ken. And if that happens, that's wonderful. That means I've done my job. So yeah, the best thing that you can do when you're starting out, you're getting ready to make friends. It doesn't matter how old you are or what your profession is. The first thing that you should do is identify that part of your personality that does not change. Embrace that part of your personality that does not change. Develop it. Use that as your foundation. Use that as your guidepost to all your other relationships. If someone doesn't like you because, let's say, for example, you're embracing love, right? Or if someone doesn't like you because you're conscientious, or someone doesn't like you because you're ambitious, or you have great work ethic, or you have good self-discipline, whatever, or you're a good planner, right? Or maybe you're very creative. Whatever that attribute is, whatever that adjective is that defines who you are, that does not change regardless of how much money you have or regardless of where you're living or how you're living or the people that you have around you. Whatever that adjective is, lean all the way into it and promote it in your life. Surround yourself with people who you can introduce that part of your personality to. I know there are some people who live their life like a chameleon. They will switch the way they present themselves to different people in different circumstances. But even if you find yourself in a situation where you have to be a chameleon, either at work or at church or wherever you go, right? If you have to act like a chameleon, do not compromise on that one attribute that is not supposed to change regardless of who you are. I can speak from personal experience. When I'm trying to make friends, I know that that part of my personality, which is love, that part of my personality isn't going to change regardless of my situation. So you may see me in a military uniform and I'm very focused. I'm very locked in. You may see me in a business casual as a consultant, and I am facilitating, I'm consulting, I'm advising. Regardless of what my profession is, that personality trait does not change. I may be deployed. I used to work on airplanes in the Middle East, so I may be deployed, and when I'm deployed, I may be working extremely hard. I may be tired. I may be going 14, 15, 16 hours. That part of my personality, which is love, I love people. I love the work that I do. I love who I am. I love my family. I love my friends. I love my country. That love that I have inside me that flows into every aspect of my life, that doesn't change even when I was not making very much money in the military. And it doesn't change when I started making a little bit more money, thank God, but when I started making a little bit more money as a consultant. I can't tell you enough how important it is when you get ready to make friends. Start off with the first step. Find out who you are. What is the part of your personality that does not change regardless of the circumstance? And then embrace it. Embrace it. If you're not good at it, don't worry. Like if you have a part of your personality and you're saying, you know what, regardless of my situation, I love everything, right? But I'm not good at it. You don't have to be good at whatever your part of your personality is that doesn't change. You don't have to be an expert at your own identity. It could be a work in progress. It could be something completely aspirational, and that's okay. The important part is consistently, every single day, every week, every month, every year, you work on your personality. You work to promote it. You work to strengthen it. You work on your identity. And eventually, that part of your personality, even though you're not good at it right now, that part of your personality that you know is not going to change regardless of your situation, you get better at making sure that that part of your personality is steady. And that takes practice. It's an exercise. This whole life is an exercise. It's all a growing process. It's all a big, long journey. And the faster you're able to identify that part of your personality that does not change, the faster other people who want to support you are going to be able to recognize who you are, because real recognizes real, and they'll be able to recognize who you are and they'll join with you. And you'll find yourself making friends from all over the place because they're able to see the consistency in your personality. They'll be able to see, okay, this person is honest in all the different situations. I need an honest person in my life to tell me the truth about the situations that I see. Okay, this person is very creative. I need someone in my life that is very creative. Lean into it. Whatever that part of your personality is that doesn't change, lean into it in all situations and be loyal to it. And you'll find yourself on the way to making the friends that you've always wanted to have. This works for romantic relationships. It works for professional relationships. It works obviously for personal relationships. Regardless of what relationship you're in, you have to embrace your identity. And how can you embrace your identity if you don't know what it is? And how do you know what your identity is if you are not able to find out what is the part of your personality that doesn't change regardless of the situation? Eventually, you'll be able to say, yes, I'm a nurse, or I'm a doctor, or I'm a consultant, or I'm a delivery driver. You can have whatever profession that you want to have, but that's not going to change your personality. You're always going to have that part of your personality that you can fall back on, or that you can rest on, or that you can depend on. And the people that are in your life that are your friends that are going to elevate you, they'll be able to see, even though the odds are against them, even though they've had a lot of bad news, even though they haven't been successful professionally, even though they're running out of money, it doesn't matter, because I know who they are. And if they ever need anything, I'm there. If they need a recommendation, if they need a job, if they need whatever it is that they need, I understand who they are as a person. I understand what their identity is. I understand that there are certain parts of them that are not going to change, and I value that. In a world where everyone is changing, everyone is marketing, everyone is trying to put on pretenses. This is a person, and they'll say this about you. This is a person that is not built like anyone else. And I can appreciate that. I value that. It's very authentic. I can talk forever about this stuff, but I want to leave it off here with a word of encouragement. As you go about this week and you are planning on what you're going to accomplish by Friday, and you're getting ready to plan for the weekend, I challenge you this week. I know some people don't like to be challenged, but I ask that you strongly consider starting the process of making friends, nurturing those relationships, and building the life that you've always wanted to live. I ask, I want to say challenge, but I ask that you begin the process by identifying who you are, embracing your identity, finding that part of your personality that is not going to change, and take it out and embrace it and get good at it. Get good at whatever that personality is, that personality trait is. I look forward to working with you all to make friends, keep them, nurture them, and build the life that we always wanted to build. I think the sky's the limit. I'm very optimistic. I may be a little under the weather today, but it's going to be okay. I'll get better. I look forward to talking to you all again soon. Bye-bye.